Hi everyone, this is Julia from Green Umbrella. I'll tell you, we've had such a laugh trying to get this up and running. The last 2 weeks I've done this, it's been a total disaster because of technical problems and internet problems. So what I thought I'd do this week is I'd make it a bit easy for myself, and I'd have the lovely Jessica Pilkington from Pilkington Communications, and we'd record it perhaps an hour before it goes live, which is what we're doing now. We've actually taken probably about an hour trying to sort out the technical problems, and I won't tell you how many times I've seen Jessica's chest today. So we've had quite a laugh. Anyway, Jessica, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out to actually sit and record this with us. So I do really appreciate it. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to ask you is, obviously, you need to tell everybody about what you do and what's your name and where do you come from?
Hello, Julia. Hi, everyone. How are you? I'd just like to say the chest thing was from leaning forward, not from anything else. I run a company, Pilkington Communications, PR, and I started out as a journalist way back, features editor, news editor, reporter on a lot of the local newspapers here in Northamptonshire. Went travelling, did a bit of freelance journalism and came back and have kind of gradually built up a PR company. So that's me.
Okay, and whereabouts are you based in the UK?
I'm based in Northamptonshire, in a village called Stratton, but I kind of cover probably the South East Midlands, Bedfordshire, Bucks, Northants. But I have got some clients up in Derbyshire, so anywhere really.
Okay, and how long have me and you known each other? I was trying to think of that the other day. I was thinking, God, how long have I known Jessica?
Yeah, well, I first came to you way back. It was like very much in the early days of social media, would you say? And, well, early days for me. Okay. Maybe you were well established. And I came for some coaching, and we got to know each other and have kind of worked together since.
Cool. Okay.
So, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years?
Wow, has it really been that long?
I think so.
I must admit, obviously, we've had a few sort of coaching sessions, but I think I probably learned just as much from talking to you as probably you do talking to me. So it's always like a bit of a two-way stream. So I think today's session is rather than me giving you a coaching session, I think you're going to be, teaching the guys out there that are listening to this quite a few bits and bobs around the PR side, because PR is something that we just don't do because it's such a fine art. And I think a lot of people think, it's easy, it's like social media is easy and PR is easy and marketing in general is easy, but there's so many different avenues. So do you think that as well? Do you think there's a difference between PR and social media, or there's a definite fit?
Yeah, I think, I mean, like you were saying, people will come to you for social media and people will come to me for PR, but there is some overlap. And certainly when I started out, it was all about getting print press. So get a client, has a story, you create a story, a nice piece of editorial, contact the papers, newspapers, magazines, national, local, get it in the print, wham, bam, job done. Nowadays, of course, print press is, in some cases, we're losing print press. And certainly digital and online is where everything's going. We look at everything on our phones now. We all know that. And social media really helps. So it's okay for me to get a story for a client in a newspaper. But if that's all that happens, you kind of haven't really done your job. It's about getting it online and about tweeting about it, posting about it, sharing. So social media has kind of become an essential tool in my PR toolkit.
Right, okay.
And I know that they're different beasts, but I do think that they now do this.
Right, okay, so everything sort of fits. So do you have a bit of a process then? So the first point of call is to write your article or to write your press release to get a story out there. And then does it depend on who the end client is as to where you post it on social media, or do you have different avenues for different types of businesses?
Yeah. I mean, you're the expert on the social media channels and the age range and the suitability. I guess it's understanding from a client what their objective is, as I guess it is when you're doing the social media for clients. So is it attendance at an event? Is it sales? Is it just increased awareness? So I'm doing something for Autism Concern, a local charity at the moment. They're celebrating their 25th birthday. Okay. And so it was, the PR side of it was making sure that I'd done all the background stuff to get information on their website about their history, about their team, about what they do. I then started doing press releases about the Jubilee year. Okay. And I'm I've got some lovely images designed, 25 celebrations, party time. And then I've started to get that into the local press, or hopefully we'll do next week. And local is where they want rather than national. But my next stage will be to maximise their social media channels. So once it goes into the newspapers, we'll tweet about it from their accounts. Now, they use Twitter and Facebook. They have a closed Facebook account for people affected by autism and then an open one. So I will tweet about the coverage and link to it if we get some media coverage. But I've also done little films, and I think you taught me this many years ago, Julia, little films of like key staff saying, hi, it's our birthday and this is what we love about our organisation. And they'll be going on Facebook paid for, social media. And in fact, in the press release, and in the press release, I'm actually asking people to go onto our Twitter and Facebook channels to post messages. So I'm using media to prompt the social media.
And obviously then you've got additional awareness by people getting involved in the campaign as well. There's a couple of, just for you guys out there who might be listening to this, there's a couple of tools, because I do like the tools alert. So if you are into any sort of charities, there's two things that I would mention. The first one is called Twibbon, which I'll put in the notes below. So Twibbon is it's a Twitter and a Facebook application, and you can have it on your mobile phone or you can use it via desktop. And it adds like a little ribbon or a little badge that you can add to your Twitter profile. So that's the first one. The second one is, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, Jessica, it's called Thunderclap. Have you heard of that?
Don't think so.
All right, so Thunderclap is for some sort of a campaign. So basically what you do, it's a bit like have you heard of Kickstarter, like crowdfunding? Yeah. But rather than collecting money, you collect people's social media channels. So you say, register your social media account here, and it'll be like, I want to donate my Facebook account or my Twitter account, and you start collecting them. And then on one day agreed, say like 14th of May, your one tweet gets launched out to everybody who's agreed to put their Twitter account in. So everybody tweets the same message all in one thing. And it just works so powerful, because that message will go out to like thousands of people. But you have to nominate how many accounts you're going to get, whether it's 250 people that are going to say, I'll quite happily say this message on this day. And that's called
Is that a free tool, Julia?
I think there's a paid level as well. So there's certain levels are free, and then I think you can pay up for it. I haven't used it for a little while, but we did a campaign a little while ago, and it was just brilliant. So that's called Thunderclap. So that might work quite well for the autism charity.
Yeah, that's great. I've got another charity client in the north of the county, and we're going to get their new website live soon. So I might use that as an opportunity to use. Is it Thunderclap?
Thunderclap.
Like a nightclub, doesn't it?
If you go on their website, Thunderclap, there's a video that explains how it works, which is much better than how I've just explained it. But one message going out at exactly the same time that a lot of people are doing. How powerful is that? So it's really quite cool. So anyway, that's Christina coughing in the background, bless her. She's going, sorry. Okay, as the world of marketing has changed over the years, how do you sort of keep up to date with all the changes in social media?
Yeah, and I'm going to turn that one back on you in a minute as well. So I think that's an interesting question. I think it's not be afraid to learn and listen to other people. I feel quite strongly about that it's okay if you don't know everything, but just keep learning.
Yeah.
I belong to some LinkedIn groups. Chartered Institute of Public Relations is great. And I get their posts and I can see their resources. In fact, I'm going to join them, I think. I was a member before. I go on I put myself on courses if I feel that there's something to learn, there's something new coming out there. And I do partner with other PR professionals from time to time and work with them on projects. So if a project feels too big for me, or not too big maybe, but something that I'd like to share with somebody else and or bring another team member in, then sometimes people know other things that you haven't quite got yourself yet. And I love that. I love learning from other people. So I use social media a lot. LinkedIn, lots of tools. I read all the resources. I get all the packs through. What about you?
Well, I'm the same. I love this stuff. For me, it's more like a hobby. So I read probably 15 or so blogs a day. I'm listening to podcasts on the way into work every single morning. I'm a big reader of books, so I set up a book club. Because one of my goals was to make sure I read like at least 2 books every single month. But then, like the year before last, I actually missed a few months. So I thought I'd make myself accountable. So I actually set up a book club. So I now have people that have registered and they're waiting for my email every week or every month. So it makes me read the books. So the one I'm reading at the moment is called Fascinate, and it's absolutely brilliant. So again, I'll put a link in the show notes. To the book club if you want to receive a copy of that. So yeah, I just devour things and I'm listening all the time. Someone rang up this morning and said something new's happened on Google. It's like, oh right, what's happened there then?
And you must get asked questions sometimes, like I do, that you're thinking, hang on a minute, I need to find out about that, and then suddenly you're going down a new path of learning yourself.
That's exactly how it works. So do you ever get to the stage where you think, that's I don't really have the time to learn that? Or I think sometimes at one stage I used to say, rather than passing business on to other people that were better off on, say, web development or like Google AdWords and stuff like that, I would say we can do that, and I'd start trying to learn everything. But I've got to the stage in the business where I just thought, I'm not an expert on that particular area, let's give it to somebody else.
Absolutely. I mean, with PR, I think there's certain sectors that if you're a specialist in, helps, possibly IT. Health can be the case too. And there are people with specialisms. But actually, the basics of PR can be pushed across most areas. But I don't do photography. I used to do my own photography, and now I tend to bring somebody in to do that. Ditto with design, because you can't spread yourself too thinly.
No. And at the end of the day, you've got to think of what's right for the customer.
Exactly.
And if you've got somebody else that can do it better, then why not?
And free up more of your time to do the stuff that's more strategic.
Absolutely. And then that's the other question I was going to ask you as well. So, because you've been established for quite a while, is there any point in your business where you find, why am I working with this particular client? And that's a learning that I've done over the last 2 years, is trying to say no to certain clients. Do you ever go down that line, or? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I don't take work on now unless I think I can add to it, and unless it interests me. So I was asked something very, very strange the other day, if I could do a particular type of healthcare. I'm not going to tell you about it, but it was so not my bag. I passed it on to somebody that specialises in healthcare. So I knew I wouldn't enjoy it, and I knew that there was probably somebody out there that would enjoy it. So yes, I guess so.
That's it. We've agreed now that we only work with nice people.
Oh, okay,
so,
I
so
like
you're
that.
On the nice list.
I agree with that. If you can help it.
So all my clients out there, you're nice people. Let me ask you a question
now. Right.
Right, you're going to ask me one. Go on.
I love talking to you about social media tools and apps, and I try and keep abreast of them myself, but you prompt me every now and again with your weekly emails. What would you say your favourite 3 apps are? Perhaps ones that you can use across different platforms.
Okay. Right, I'm going to need to get my phone up now. So I hadn't prepped for this, so thank you for that. So that's cool. My favourite.
You told me about Boomerang recently, which I've been enjoying on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. I don't use Instagram as much as I should do, but I perhaps should start getting into that a little bit more. There is a new app that I don't know if I've told you about, called Patch.
It was on one of your emails. Yeah, I haven't used it yet.
Okay, so Patch is wicked, especially if you take a lot of selfies, and it sort of blurs the background out, and it makes your face stand out a little bit more. So that's quite a cool one. But when it comes to like iPhone apps, one of the best ones I use for scheduling social media posts is eClincher. There's an app for eClincher, which is just there. So I use that for scheduling.
Why do you use that instead of Hootsuite?
Because it does you can put things into what we call buckets, and it will regurgitate things. Additional to that, you can put in custom feeds, which you can do in Hootsuite as well. But it has, how you get these little, like, we hate red dots. So eClincher has, like your red dots, has an inbox. So it will say, oh, you've had new followers on Twitter, these people have commented on your LinkedIn post, these people have commented on your Facebook post. And you can click on the red dots and you sort of clear your inbox, which makes you sweep all of your social media platforms.
Okay.
So it gets down to 0, and then I've done my social media for the day, and then I'll probably check on it again later in the afternoon. But it's just brilliant. You don't miss anything.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of eClincher. I think it works great. It integrates with Google Analytics as well. Hootsuite's mega expensive to integrate it with Google Analytics. With eClincher, it's all included, and it's cheaper. So why wouldn't you like it? So
that's tool number 1.
That's tool number 1. Is eClincher. The other business tool, again, which I use on my app is Capsule.
Yep.
Okay. For all you smaller businesses out there, Capsule is probably the best CRM system. It's just brilliant. So if I do a search for any clients and I just ring them, it goes into the history. It does loads of things. It does tracking. These guys will tell you, because there's quite a funny story behind it, because I was really anti having yet another system. So I was like, why do we need another management system? Anyway, they convinced me in the end, and now I tell everyone it was my idea, because it's absolutely brilliant and I absolutely love it. So Capsule is just brilliant, especially if you've got people that are working for you but perhaps outsourced and they work from home. So yeah, it's a great way of keeping tabs. My other gadgets, I'll tell you my gadget. Right, yeah. I've got a Polaroid zip. Do you know what one of those is?
No, but I look forward to finding out.
I haven't got it with me, but I'll show you what it does. Okay, so it's a little gadget that's probably about a bit smaller than your iPhone.
Yeah.
It's Polaroid, so it prints photos. So like that's a photo of Jenny Adams, who's on the live streaming next week.
Yeah.
So anywhere you go. So when I was on my travels, I'll take pictures of people on my iPhone, stream it to my little printer, and then I go, there you go. And it actually, these peel off on the back, so they just become sticky, and you can stick them in your books and stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
Actual printers, and that's called a Polaroid zip, and the app's on your phone to streamline for that. That's what I use every single day. They're the 3 apps.
Quite a nice sort of PR tip as well. You see a client, you say thank you, you see them next time. All of those. I remember once you and I met, and you sent me a postcard, a touch note postcard. Do you remember?
I've sent
of
4
me with
today.
Your giraffe.
Yeah, I get people in, we get them to pose in front of a giraffe, we take a photo. Everyone thinks they're just going on our board, which is, from these Polaroid zip things, but actually I send them a nice surprise, and I always put them in the post as well.
There's me thinking I was unique.
Oh, see, I've now told the whole world what I do. Brilliant. Okay, right, my time for a question. Okay. If you had one tip that you could share with the small business owner, what would it be?
Oh, well, I think it might be something we kind of touched on before, which is not to try and do everything yourself. So when I first launched, I wanted, a whizzy website, great business cards. I wanted to network. I wanted to do my own accounts. Really everything, I just didn't even think about outsourcing, because I wanted to keep everything for myself and grow my business. And I thought that was success. I now have somebody that does my IT. I ring him up, costs very little, monthly cost. Somebody who does my accounts. I have somebody that often does PowerPoints for me if I've got, about to do a presentation, and I can just get somebody else to do the whizzy design stuff. And then, of course, I come to you when I've got any social media queries and get your weekly emails, because you can't be an expert in everything, but you can do your best to be an expert in your own area.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's absolutely brilliant. I think as a small business owner, we do try and do everything.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you think about your hourly rate as well, if you think how expensive you are, you're a very expensive administrator. Do you see what I mean? If you're just doing, some bog standard stuff that you can perhaps give to a VA or something like that as well. If your hourly rate is X amount, that's quite expensive, and you can spend your time doing the stuff that A, you enjoy, but B, you're more productive. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I think you've got to spend your time doing the strategic stuff, and where you can, and when you've built your company up enough, be able to pass on to your team or to the people that you outsource to, the more basic stuff that you can support them on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm sure every single business coach out there will say exactly the same thing as well. So that's cool. Okay.
The other thing, I had this great timekeeping tip once at a business networking event, which is when you're struggling to finish the last, that thing on your list, that press release you've got to write, or the website story you've got to do, or the social media you've got to schedule, and you just keeps going down to the bottom of your list. I now turn all my devices off, put my phone in a different office, and set an egg timer, and make myself do that job before the end of the day. That's my other tip. I am stealing that from somebody else.
Brilliant. No, that's great. I've got a timer. Oh God, did you see? I posted it on Facebook a little while ago, but I put the timer on, and then I do a coaching session with a client, and I always put it an extra half an hour, just in case, so I can see when it's counting down. So if my coaching session's an hour, I'll set my timer for an hour and a half. Anyway, this one particular client was talking for ages, and we were so involved with the conversation, I completely forgot we was going into an hour and a half. And then it goes, time up, go make a cup of tea. And it's like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. So it's like, is our time up, Julia? Because I was screen sharing and it came up on the screen. It was like, but there are some good apps out there.
I got some questions for you. Let's have a think. Facebook live streaming. That's something that I've started using a lot more with clients, and something that people are talking about. Do you think that's the best way to live stream? Says us who've struggled with our technology today. But is it something that your clients are asking you for, and have you got any top tips for people out there?
Okay, so live streaming is huge now. Even if you look at Facebook is the biggest when it comes to live streaming. At the moment, we're meant to be live streaming into Periscope and into YouTube and also into Facebook. But doing all three takes up so much bandwidth, and that's what I've learned over the last few weeks is, let's just start with Facebook. That's where our biggest audience is. But it does take a lot of resources from a computer point of view. If you want to live stream from a desktop, which is what we're doing now, there's some free software you can use called OBS, and that doesn't cost anything, and you can live stream directly from your desktop. But majority of the time, most people are doing it from their mobile phones. The best reason that you're doing live streaming is because of the exposure. So the minute you go live, you get a little red notification, that you get a pop-up, and Facebook are just pushing it out. Facebook are even advertising on television themselves now. So you can see how much resources they're putting into it. So it was a bit crazy really to not do live streaming. So please embrace live streaming this year if you have an opportunity. It's like an image is like this much, and then a link is this much, and then video is this much, and Facebook is right up here. And then if you want more exposure, put your hand in your pocket, pay for it, and then you'll get it up here. Yeah,
and that's an example of, so when I've done live streaming for clients, and I know there's certain days it's going to happen, I will include that in any press materials that go out. So when it's on the website, for example, I'll say, and if you want to know more, check into the live streaming taking place next Friday. So hence what I was saying about PR and social media doing that.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. And you can also, say if you're doing a prize draw, I think doing it live just shows authenticity as well.
That's a very good idea. Yeah, I've done them for workshops and kind of did you knows, but the prize draw idea is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything like that. Cool. Okay. Right, is there anything else you've got on your list?
No, I don't think so. Anything on your list?
Okay, I've got one more question. Okay. I've got here, can you share a success story?
All right, that's the one that I forgot to prep for. No.
Have you got one that you've
chosen a client? Let me have a think.
I've got one you can do.
Okay.
Okay, do you remember all those videos you did with the retail people?
Oh, yes. That was the one yes. So I do the PR for Northampton, well, quite a few business improvement districts. They're BIDs, they're called. I do Luton, Brackmills, Northampton, and then I do a little bit of work in Derby as well. And we in Northampton Town Centre, we have a sort of festive initiative called Golden Ticket. And the idea is to entice more people into the town centre, to spend longer there, spend money there, to explore and discover new businesses and shops. And so we did a sort of golden ticket where you have to complete a ticket and then post it into one of the post boxes, and then every week there's a draw. And year 1 went well, year 2 went slightly better, year 3 I thought, right, we've got to start targeting more people on social media, and we want to start targeting some of the younger people. So that's when, and I remember talking to you about this, I trialled Facebook paid for videos.
Yeah.
So I took my iPhone with me, and top tip, delete all the pictures on your camera, because if you haven't got enough storage, it's extremely embarrassing.
Yeah.
So lined up 4 or 5 businesses, did 30-second to 60-second videos saying, welcome to Northampton Town Centre, complete the form, post the form, win it. And really quite fun, not too professional looking, which I think is good for social media, and then posted them organically on Facebook and Twitter, and links to them on the on the client's website. But then also did that extra boosted paid for Facebook. And I did it again this year, so this is the 2nd year I've done it, and the stats were off the wall.
Really?
And not even just the paid for, but just the little video that I put on for one of the boutiques in Northampton, who was supporting the campaign. I popped it on Facebook, and I mean, it was tens of thousands of interactions, and that was without the paid for. Incredible. Photography and film in particular is just key now to any good PR campaign.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can't leave on a better note than that. There is a new app out there. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called YouTube Director.
Okay.
Have you done that? So, especially for you guys that are listening in, check out YouTube Director. There's loads of different templates in there, and basically YouTube talk you through how to put a video together. It even shows you, you've got the templates in there for testimonials, walkthroughs of a retail outlet, how to promote your business using a video, but it sort of gives, you're like in a police scene, and it's got like a dead person's where it was dead, and you've got like the white outline of the person. Yeah. So it's got like the white outline. It says put the person here, so then you move the person to where the white outline is. I'm not explaining that very well, but
I think you do.
It's really good. So YouTube Director, it's free of charge. It doesn't cost anything, and it's owned by YouTube. So why wouldn't you use it? It's a really good bit of kit. So, okay, right, I think I'm going to end on that. Apart from asking you the really important question and saying thank you for coming along today, how can people connect with you? Where can people find you, Jessica?
Oh, I thought you were talking to the audience then. Me?
No, yeah.
Well, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. My new website's under development at the moment. So,
what's your Twitter handle? Sorry.
At Jess Pilks PR.
At Jess Pilks PR. Okay,
yeah.
So I'll put that in the notes below earlier when this goes live as well.
Lovely, and check out my new website soon.
Yes, watch this space coming soon.
Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. You take care, mate.
Bye.